Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da. Dun, dun. It's a raccoon with a talk show slinging culture facts you might not know. From the biggest flops to the greatest hits, this is Trash Can Tidbits.
Hey guys, it's Beaton, back for another week of Trash Can Tidbits. Last week, I asked the question, which Broadway musical, based on a beloved Disney movie, did Norm Lewis and Sierra Boggess play father and daughter? The answer is The Little Mermaid. They were both part of the original Broadway cast of 2007. Norm played King Triton, and Sierra made her Broadway debut as Ariel. Now, I personally never saw the show, but I do remember seeing pictures and footage being blown away by Sierra's voice, and Norm's rock-hard abs. Now, with that addressed, let's say we get started with fact number 1. Did you know that there were initial plans to delete the song As Time Goes By from Casablanca? The movie's composer, Max Steiner, didn't really like the song and wanted to take it out and replace it with another song. However, the person who inadvertently convinced Steiner the song should stay was none other than the star, Ingrid Bergman. Immediately after finishing Casablanca, she got her hair cut for her next movie, For Whom the Bell Tolls. The song was allowed to stay due to the realization that even if Bergman wore a wig for reshoots, the continuity effect would be lost, particularly in the famous scene where she tells Sam to play it. Steiner ended up making the most of the situation by having As Time Goes By as the official Casablanca theme song. Fact 2. Did you know that the reason the original Willy Wonka movie is called Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is due to a deal the filmmakers made with Quaker Oats? Of all companies to assist in the making of a movie, Quaker Oats got involved because they were getting ready to put out a new candy bar. Since the book Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was proposed to them, Quaker decided to provide the money and put out a real-life Wonka bar as seen in the movie. But only if they would rename the title of the movie to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory for merchandising purposes. However, once the actual Wonka bar hit shelves, there was a problem in the formula that made the chocolate melt much faster, and the candy was recalled. The brand has since been purchased by Nestle and continues to make Wonka-themed candy today, such as Nerds, Gobstoppers, and of course, Wonka bars. Fact 3 comes again from my friend Beastly Drawhan. Did you know that Cloud Strife of Final Fantasy fame is one of the few fictional characters in any media that has been in projects starring 2 of the most prolific mascots whose names both start with the letter M? Cloud made his first appearance in the Kingdom Hearts series with Kingdom Hearts on the PlayStation 2 and appeared again in its sequel. Both games have Mickey Mouse in an important role in the story. Cloud would also go on to become a guest character in Nintendo's Super Smash Bros. Series in 2015 as DLC for the Wii U and 3DS games. And the headliner for the Smash games is, in fact, you guessed it, Mario, Nintendo's mascot. So, Cloud Strife has been in games with a world-renowned mascot whose name starts with the letter M, and both were major crossover titles for their respective companies. Thanks for that fact, Drohan. Fact 4. Did you know that the movie Castaway was deliberately put on hiatus to allow Tom Hanks to lose weight? You may notice that the movie begins with Hanks' character being rather out of shape, and throughout the course of the movie he grows long hair and loses a large amount of weight. That's because production was shut down for a whole year to allow Tom Hanks to lose 50 pounds and grow out his hair for the filming of the latter part of the movie. During that time, director Robert Zemeckis made another movie with the same crew, the psychological suspense film What Lies Beneath. After that movie came out, Zemeckis and a now 50 pounds lighter Tom Hanks went right back to the island to finish filming Castaway. Fact 5. Did you know that the plot of the first Fast and the Furious movie mirrors that of a movie that came out in the 90s? The plot of the first Fast and the Furious, which came out in 2001, sees an undercover agent sent in to apprehend a group of criminals and ends up befriending them in the process. That is the exact same story of the 1991 action film Point Break, in which an undercover FBI agent uses his cover as a surfer to infiltrate a group of other surfers who happen to be criminals robbing banks. Both movies have the hero becoming friends with their charismatic leader and joins their cause when it's revealed that these so-called criminals are actually Robin Hood-type figures who steal to give to the less fortunate. I don't know if the first Fast and Furious plagiarized or borrowed heavily from Point Break, but I thought it was worth mentioning because they both literally have the same plot. Fact 6. Did you know that although Mel Gibson did the voice of John Smith in the Disney film Pocahontas, he actually, contrary to popular belief, did not reprise the role in the direct-to-video sequel Pocahontas 2: Journey to a New World. Instead, the people at Disney hired his younger brother, Donald Gibson, who has served as a sound-alike actor for his brother and even appeared in minor roles in some of his films, such as Braveheart. In fact, when Mad Max was made into a video game in 2015, Donald even submitted an audition tape in hopes of getting to play the role that made his brother famous, but didn't get the part. Similar to this, whenever Tom Hanks hasn't been the voice of Woody in other Toy Story projects, the producers at Disney hired his younger brother, Jim Hanks. In fact, it's Jim's voice that we hear whenever Woody says some of his toy lines, like, "There's a snake in my boot," and so on. Fact 7. Did you know that one of the guns in the game GoldenEye, the Club, was named after a Nintendo employee who worked on the game? Ken Lobb, who was one of the major figures in helping get the game made, also helped Rare to create the Killer Instinct series. The Club weapon, which is incidentally one of the worst guns in the whole game, was named after him as a tribute. It can also be seen as a possible nod to Bond villainess Rosa Klebb, one of the major behind-the-curtain characters in From Russia with Love, who memorably tries to attack Bond with a knife hidden in her shoe. Fact 8. Did you know that actor Ben McKenzie is the only actor to have played both Batman and his ally, Commissioner James Gordon? He played Batman in the direct-to-video animated movie Batman Year One, based on Frank Miller's acclaimed graphic novel. He would later play Detective Jim Gordon in the TV series Gotham, where he gets to be a mentor to a young Bruce Wayne. It's also worth mentioning that Bryan Cranston played a young James Gordon in Batman Year One, the role that McKenzie would end up playing a few years later. Fact 9. Did you know that there were 2 console video games based on Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and both of them did not feature the voice of the show's star, Sarah Michelle Gellar? The first game, which was Xbox exclusive, and the second game, subtitled Chaos Bleeds, used most of the actors from the show, but Gellar was off doing other projects at both times. Instead, a sound-alike voice actress named Giselle Loren was used. Loren was actually involved with Buffy before, having voiced the character in the pilot for a Buffy animated series that was never picked up. It's also worth mentioning that Allison Hannigan played Willow in the first game, but she did not play Willow in the second game, instead being voiced by Kari Wahlgren, who has also recently appeared as Roxanne Featherly on DuckTales, Wasp on Avengers Assemble, and Master Tigress on Kung Fu Panda Legends of Awesomeness. Fact 10. Did you know that for the 2009 Ghostbusters video game, the game notably does not feature the characters of Dana Barrett and Louis Tully? At the time, Rick Moranis, who played Louis, had retired from acting to raise his children after losing his wife to cancer. Louis's uniform from Ghostbusters 2 can be seen at the firehouse. Sigourney Weaver, who played Dana, declined the role at first, but as time went on, she heard more and more about it and was excited that it was announced that the game would feature the original cast. Unfortunately, by the time she changed her mind, it was already too far in development to include her, and Dana is not seen in the game. A new love interest for Peter Venkman was created instead, Dr. Elissa Selwyn, played by Alyssa Milano. And here's this week's trivia question. The main antagonist of the Halloween series, Michael Myers, is an unstoppable killing force that has survived more than 40 years of movies, comics, and other pop culture references. Although, in the script for the first Halloween film, he wasn't actually called Michael Myers, and the name Michael can actually be heard very few times in the original movie. The filmmakers conceived of a very abstract nickname that perfectly exemplifies how emotionless, formless, and inhuman Michael really is. My question to you is, in the closing credits for the first Halloween movie, instead of being credited as Michael Myers, what abstract nickname is he referred to? And there we go for this week. I hope you enjoyed this latest installment and stay tuned for more. Next week, I think I'll do a themed list based on a certain secret agent. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and ring the bell for future video notifications. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.